Hey, welcome to the show. I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm just Terrell. You ever been out swearing overheard two people having crazy conversations?
Yeah, well, we are those people. We've been having these conversations since college.
Yep, it's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts podcast. Never Ever Met's Season 2, Episode 6 recap. Be sure to like, subscribe, rate, and leave a review.
Man. I'm sorry. My mind's just gone because I've been following along on this whole trial, right? This Diddy trial.
Yeah.
And it's so nuts. Especially because news organizations have not had this many people going on their sites all day, just clicking between AP News, NBC News, New York Times, and just clicking on these websites as much as this right now because it's been nuts because no cameras in there. Just a lot of nuts stuff, man. Sorry.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to look at any of it. I was in Dallas, yesterday, and it was nonstop from the time I got to the office at 7:45 in the morning yesterday until I got on the road to leave at 2:15 today and was still on calls the whole 3 hours.
Well, so, that makes the ride better, right? I mean, think about it.
It does.
Okay,
it does.
To say. Okay.
At least you got something to do. I mean, music is better. Comedy radio is better. But being on Teams calls while you're driving is fine. You just can't look at the can you see my screen? I'm like, no, I'm driving.
If I do, you'll hear me crash.
Yeah.
But that's what I used to do to make my drives back and forth because I hate driving. It's like the easiest thing is on the conversation on the phone, right? And it's
we know.
But,
we know.
So Terrell gets upset because every time I call him and it's not about doing the pod, he's like, "You're driving, aren't you?"
Using me to kill time. And then sometimes he'll call me and I'm like, hey, I text him, hey, man, I'm gonna call you right back. 2 minutes later, I call back and it goes to voicemail after 5 rings because he's found someone else to talk to.
Hey, shout out to Debbie. Says, "Yay! I finally got my notification for live. Good. I'm glad you did." YouTube channel member Pink Butterfly. Hello, gentlemen. How are we again? Here we are again. My bad. Jeez, I can't even read. Kevin, what up? No, I said I only watch this dumb show because of the two of you. You're welcome.
You're welcome. One of us.
Under the Olive Branch, this YouTube channel member says, "Hey all, I made it on a weeknight. Yes, on a school night. I appreciate you. You. Everybody jumping in. Definitely love it. So this has been one of those episodes, right? We're 6 episodes in. Are we ever going to get to this secret?
Well, we've already gotten to it. It's just, is he ever going to tell Tati?
So let's get to it, man, because it's just so much crap to get into with these folks here today. Starting off with this couple that it looked like this was the end for them. And in the last argument, they kind of put it together, Brittany and Ty, and now Ty apparently has turned over a new leaf. He's out making breakfast and getting ready to take it to Brittany. But is this a foul?
No, it's something that he had said that he was going to do.
Yeah.
I'll make you breakfast, bring you breakfast in bed. So now he's trying to, you know what? She's right. I did say all those things. I might as well start doing them, get some points back. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, Chris thinks something's wrong with it and threw a purple flag on it and said, we'll get to that. He's like, hey, you're making the rest of us look bad. First of all, nobody can make you look bad in your relationship, right?
Right.
Okay, so I just want to make sure it was right there.
No, 100%. Not going to make you look bad.
How about then he says he's looking, why is he acting like the woman in the relationship?
Yeah, because Chris, and it could be because Chris is dating an older woman. It's like he's used to her making his stuff for him, making him a breakfast. He doesn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I think, well, why does he feel that's the woman's job? I don't think it's any one person's job to make breakfast for their partner.
Right.
Just something you want to do for them.
Right.
Because you're nice.
And him saying that's him acting like the woman in the relationship, that's that caveman mentality.
Yeah, you acting like woman.
That's why you don't have a woman.
Yeah. Well, he does. He has a grown woman.
No, he don't want her, and there's a reason. It's crazy because that man's just doing what he promised. We gave him hell for it last episode. He's doing it. The only thing I hated about this is because we go upstairs because he meets her downstairs and she goes, "I'm going to go upstairs because I don't feel too good." But she goes upstairs and she's got Charlie and Kiki with her, right? And I hate that Brittany says that she had to be ugly to get Ty to do something nice. Because I feel like this is a setup for things to go bad for Ty later on.
Well, but I mean, she's used to trying to be treated like a princess, and it's all about her. So that's just her shtick, But this is what Ty has to deal with. If he wants to keep her happy, you got to do these things. Now, what I didn't like is if I make you breakfast and bring you breakfast in bed, take a bite in front of me.
She never ate the food, did she?
She never ate it. At least we didn't see her eat it on camera. And this just sitting there. She's talking to Kiki and who else was in there? Was it Tati?
Charlie.
She's talking to them. It's just sitting there. I'm like, no, I bring you a plate. Eat it.
And because if you don't, somebody else was about to. Because Kiki is like, hey, looking at that food, I'm gonna leave because I'm getting hungry just looking at your food that you ain't touching. Obviously, you had to be mean, go a little crazy for him to bring it, but you still ain't eat it. What you doing?
Yeah, I know. All I know is if I make my girl breakfast in bed, you eat a piece of bacon right in front of me. Something.
You like?
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't like that too much, but they get out of this, right? We get to outside and they're going to this matching game with Taronda. It's like the newlywed game, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it'll be the newly met game.
I see what you did there.
Newly met? Yeah.
See what you did there.
What'd you think of this game?
I thought it was interesting because it is one of those how well do you know your partner games. I get it, but some of those conversations, Charlie and Jared have been talking for 4.5 years. They probably talked about favorite color 4.5 years ago, but because they've never met in person, it doesn't probably come up again. So it's easy to forget some of those questions. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I thought it was an interesting game.
We did find out some interesting things in this game. Like your boy Chris has a problem with words. I mean, we knew this hearing him talk.
That's sad.
Because think about it. The very first question, favorite color, right? He's over there thinking so hard and looking at Taronda. And she's like, I can't help you. Little did she know she actually could.
Yeah.
Because when he flipped his board around, she goes, Purple.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you were looking at me. No, sir. Purple.
I'm sorry. Since episode 1, as soon as I heard Chris talk, I'm like, he's going to have a lot of typos in his text.
Look, this is... Purple is diabolical. It is, and don't even ask him to spell that, because he had a hard time. Bailey's, he spelled Balegs. I'm like, what is that?
That was funny.
And see, this is why when people were like, "Oh, you're the grammar police on social media," it's social media. It doesn't matter. It does, and this is why.
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah, you bring you home to the family. Hey, can you give me playing Scrabble? And he puts down Purple. Like the color of your sweater. Purple. That's a double word score. They're gonna be like, no, sir.
Hey, that'll be like the comedians like BOFFUM. Both of them. Yeah, it is a word. Lucy B says, I think Chris is a teacher, though, right?
I don't know.
I hope not. Dear God.
I mean, auto mechanics?
Okay, touche.
I mean, not an English teacher. He could be teaching home ec.
Just like Dr. BW says, then our children are cooked. Not mine, because we won't be going to that school. I go there and he's in there. I don't care if he's the janitor. No. Come here. We're going to find another school, baby.
You get those letters home from the teacher like, what is this dude trying to say?
Hey, Hey, baby, who wrote this?
Yeah,
My
did
teacher.
you write this? Stop giving me a fake note that you wrote and put your teacher's name on.
I thought you were better spelling than that. I am. I always correct his work. Oh my God. Hey, T Who says Chris speaks Longhorn, Foghorn Leghorn is what he meant. You're almost speaking Chris right there.
Yeah, Longhorn Frog.
Materialistic says, let's not forget he wasn't able to draw a stop sign. You're right. He drew a rectangle for a stop sign because he forgot a stop sign is an octagon.
Right. Yeah.
How do you know octagon? Kevin says, thank you, Yanni. Grammar police here also. Chris would irk me. Yeah. Whew. Jules Sorrell says, Chris always sounds like he's speaking with a mouthful of food. Dorica says, hey, art teacher maybe?
Yeah.
Pink Butterfly YouTube channel member says, I believe he is a teacher. Jim?
Could be.
That sounds about right. That's exactly right, Elsie Charm. Okay, so Maya, I got to ask this, since you said that you are a school teacher. Purpel. Seriously, what does he teach? Oh my God. Okay. I'm done with him. Charlie says she can't remember anything, and we know that, right? But it's interesting because the other couples, who won this one? I think it was it Kiki and Brandon?
No, it was Clay and Tati.
Clay and Tati won it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they know all that stuff through osmosis because they've been cuddling up all along.
They've been slobbing up on each other the whole time. So
yeah, it's. So next thing, as a matter of fact, let's go to this because I saw this one. I got to put this up here from Kevin. I'm a teacher and I have a coworker that spells like Chris. Hopefully that coworker is the janitor. Or the bus driver. That'd be fine.
it's the English teacher.
It's
world lit. World
literature. Here's the thing that happened at the end of this game, though. There was one of those questions that came up about secrets. Mm-hmm. And this got Chris all upset because Alexis was being Alexis in the moment when it happened, right? Because everybody else is quiet. Most people know there have been a lot of secrets. If not everybody knows there have been some sorts of secrets because of the whole vegan thing. They all know this is some kind of secrets, right?
Right.
But she still makes a scene. Is Chris right to be upset with Alexis because she kind of made a little scene when that came up?
I think he overreacted a bit on that because I don't think it was as big. Mm-hmm. And she could have been saying anything, but I get his point because now it puts Clay in a spot. Mm-hmm. And you could probably see it in his eyes like, oh, shit.
He pulled an Irvin and scolded her. Or am I reading that wrong? Because that's what it felt like to me.
No, he went back in the house. He got his mind ready. Told the guys, "I'm gonna go talk to her."
They said, "Just don't write her a letter.
Don't need all that going on. Don't want to have all that drama going on. This is a reflection on me."
Yeah.
So he did kind of scold her, but and actually she took it better than I expected. I expected her to be like, "Look here, sir. No."
You know what? You're absolutely right. She kind of sat there and just, okay, maybe you're right. I was shocked. Yeah. I thought that she was going to pull an Alicia.
Yeah.
And take it up a notch or two. But she's like, no. Okay.
I thought that was nice.
Which he liked. But did it make matters worse?
Well, it did because he told her, you should go apologize, You should go apologize. Yeah. So... But then she says, well, it's the secret. It was the fact that he ate meat. He goes, nope, that's not the secret. Now, what I respect is he didn't tell her. He just said, no, that's not the secret. He didn't tell her because Chris knows code. He might not be able to spell, but he knows code. Well, code is you get a secret, you hold it. You don't tell anybody.
And you're right. He didn't. By the way, Baby Doll says
He
Chris
did
said,
say that.
You singleized.
Yeah, he did say that. You single-eyed.
I missed that.
He did say that, yes.
I missed it because I expected it. I'm just saying. So Alexis decides to go in and talk to Claire and Tati because they're in the kitchen, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And this had to be the most awkward explanation I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. I like it. First of all, I don't know nothing about no secrets.
The one I'm talking about
all
is
I'm
this.
talking about, the secret I know about is eating meat, but that's all I know. Which makes it worse. And I mean, all of us heard Clay's butt tighten up like, oh.
He was like, stop. But, okay. Here's the thing about that bothers me. Because this makes me look at Tati a little different. Why don't you ask questions? In this moment, why don't you ask? Because not only does she say this whole thing, I was only talking about this, I wasn't talking about any other secrets. Anyone? Okay. Hey, Clay, come here for a second. At what point do you not think he has another secret?
Right. The day before, everybody said, who has the most secrets? You look like, why do y'all say that? Like, ask some questions. Like, all the signs are there. And I think once she does find out, and she probably is going to get mad as hell at everybody, at some point she'll realize, ooh, that was a sign. That was right. I should have said something then. Like, she's going to realize where she messed up.
The thing about it is, I think even though not Clay, but Chris didn't say anything to Alexis, she kind of threw him under the bus too, because she's like, okay, so apparently, Clay, you got a secret.
Mm-hmm.
And what does Clay do? What he knows how to do best. Lie.
Yeah. I mean, you got to keep a lie going.
I got her some flowers. I will say he's quick on his feet, though.
He is. I was going to get him some flowers. I wonder how quickly he got those flowers. Like, you have to text somebody like, 911 producer, 911, I need a bouquet. Stat.
Right. This is nuts, and it's kind of wild because, like Dr. BW said, I said this last week, at some point, Tati is not a child. You are getting a lot of signs. You see these things, right?
Right.
Yeah, Under the Olive Branch says, yeah, she pulls them aside. I swear to you, you can't make this stuff up. You can't. Unless they scripted this and it's actually, if so, it was great because I can't believe that she didn't pick up on this. LC Charm says, as a woman, I would have told him, you have 1 hour to tell her or I will. Except she doesn't know what the secret is. But that would kind of force him to do it, though.
Yeah, it would, but I don't think that would be the right thing for, if LC Charm is in that situation, I don't think that'd be the right thing to do. You can't put an ultimatum on him. It's just...
Why?
Because I mean, I agree with the other person that Tati's grown. Tati's grown. I just don't think you give somebody an ultimatum like, if you don't tell her, I will. I just don't think that's the right move.
But here's the interesting thing, because we saw earlier in the episode Tati and Kiki talking, and Tati talking about, because, Kiki was saying, Brandon wanted to go to the Boom Boom Room, told him wasn't, but what about y'all? I was like, oh, well, we went, but look, I'm taking it slow. I like to kiss and cuddle and all that, but I like to take things slow. And then she says she's waiting for Clay to be more honest. About what?
I'm curious about that too. Like, what is she feeling that he's not being honest about? Is it his feelings, and so that's why he's dropping the L word so much, or what? I'm curious what she's not feeling he's being honest about that she needs to hear for her to decide to kick it up a notch physically.
Right. Well, they're downstairs cooking, Tati and Clay, and there are other people around. As we have seen, has been
every time everybody cooks,
but Clay gets irritated with Brittany for her being in the kitchen, like literally singles her out. There are other people in the kitchen, but he singles her out. Hey, Brittany, can you leave so we can finish cooking? And she's just like, wait a minute. When we were cooking, you were all up in here making your own stuff. Don't be doing this. He says he's getting irritated. Mm-hmm. Is this really the issue?
No, the issue is that lie is bubbling up in his stomach, and he's feeling ill.
Yeah,
because he knows, like a little panic attack, like this is coming to a head. So
this is nuts. And he goes outside, takes a break. They get everything done. The tacos. How did the spread look? Because I know you are, a connoisseur when it comes to these kinds of layouts.
It's tacos. There's no special layout for that. It's like throw some stuff in, put spoons in it. Everybody build your own. No big deal.
Okay, just making sure. But in the dinner, you can see he has got all that nervous energy. Mm-hmm. He's going above and beyond he give a speech before it starts. Hey, everybody! Hey, before y'all can get started, I got to do one thing. I just need 30 seconds. Goes to get the flowers that he lied about earlier. Mm-hmm. So he called 1-800-Flowers.com. Hurry up! I need this stat. He gets the flowers, and it's just Jared calls it right. He's a love bombing Tati.
Yeah.
So much so that she shows her appreciation by jumping in his lap, and they start making out at the dinner table.
You don't make out at the dinner table? You never done that?
Not with 5 other couples there. Because if I'm one of the other couples, if he picks up and puts on this damn table, we all fight.
No, if that happens, it's going to turn into a key party at that point. Now this is a swingers party now. Let's do this.
All of a sudden, you see the upside down pineapple?
Yeah. If you got to do that publicly, that's when you just join in and be like, hey, let me get a... It's like, oh, this one for everybody? This is y'all? Oh, my bad.
That was just a little much. And you can see everybody, because even if you look at everything that was happening, everything he was saying, look at Charlie's face.
Yeah.
Look at Jay's face. And they're all just like, what the hell is wrong with this guy, right? The worst thing for me, though, is when Clay said that he doesn't want to be a player. He doesn't want to lie. Or he doesn't want to keep secrets. And seemingly from the heavens, we heard,
that was a lie. That was a lie.
Yeah, I don't want to be a player no more. Sure.
Almost everybody in the house knows, right?
Yeah.
But then they go to another place. Never have I ever is the game. Never a good game to play.
That
with
game
couples, is it?
Not with couples. That's a good game where you're like, hey, I got 5 of my boys over. Why don't you bring 5 of your girls over? Let's all just hang out. And then as you're getting to know each other, everybody's drinking, then you break out, never have I ever. That would make sense. But not with couples, because I don't need y'all to know what I've done or what my girl has done.
You notice Clay, he lost all his fingers quick. I don't think they had anything they said at first that he didn't say, well, that was that one.
Well, he didn't. Well, he didn't kiss a man, so he didn't have that.
Yeah, that was Ty. What was Ty? Was Ty just confused, or he just didn't want to reveal something?
I don't know. I thought that was odd because I don't think I would have been confused on that. But how he got to that point, I don't know. But they said Clay got out pretty quick, and I was like, okay, he didn't drop on that one, at least.
So he didn't drop on that one. Ty caught everybody's attention, but that was just an ON playing a YN's game, okay? That was just old man-ish. It's because never have I ever, he's like, well, no, I've never done that. Pow! Wait, hold up. That's all it was. I think he just got confused. That's what it was. Even though Kevin's saying Ty almost told on himself. No, if it was something to tell, then he literally told on himself. It wasn't almost.
Yeah.
That was kind of crazy. But the thing that really got me, and we finally see a little chink in the armor, is when the question came up about, have you ever had sex with more than one person in a 24-hour period? And all of a sudden, Jay's finger goes down.
Well, Jay is the one that asked the question. That's the thing. So I was like, why would you do that?
She asked the question?
Yes, Jay was the one that asked the question.
Oh, my God.
And then her finger goes down, and that's when Cinco's like, wait, when?
So Cinco tries to ask the question. They get to a little tip because she doesn't want to answer.
Right.
Because he's asking, all right, when did this happen? To which I have to ask, does it matter? Right? Because what's the real question he's asking? Because he said, remember, the question was more than one person in a 24-hour period. Does it
Right.
matter if it happened after they started talking?
Right.
Or is one okay, but more than one in a 24-hour period is too much since we're separated by distance?
I think Cinco was saying, since we've decided that we're a thing, that we're trying to make this work, I would think he's worried, hey, did you have sex? Whether it be one person, two people, three people, did you do any of that since we said we're going to be doing this? Because then that would be a break of trust. If it was before they met, well, he'd been fine. If she just would have said, oh, no, that was like in college. It was crazy time. Bunch of Qs and a Kappa.
And only one satisfied.
Well, she liked the,
We know which one it was.
She liked the jocks. You know, she likes because she bald. So
Look,
get a couple Q football players and that one.
Here's the thing about it, though. If the question is about anybody, any one person, they would have had that conversation, wouldn't they? Because again,
so.
the question that was asked was more than one person, 24 hours. So it's like, to me, the time period didn't matter as to, well, was it since this or not? Kevin says Cinco doesn't need to know the answer. LC Charm says none while they were talking. And Kevin says he doesn't need to know the answer because it's going to hurt his feelings that it happened 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or it was the 24 hours that he's thinking before you got here, because after we met,
Right.
we did. So
was it the
was
morning when you left and then you morning sex from somebody. I'm be gone for 3 weeks. I'll text you when I'm back in town. And then you go straight to the shower with Cinco when y'all meet up.
Mm-hmm.
Valid questions. I just want to know, was it before we started talking or during? I think it's valid. She could have easily answered that question. I don't like how he said you need to answer me when I'm asking you a question. I didn't like that.
Yeah, I don't think that's the. But I agree that she does need to answer it. But I think that's the wrong question to ask, right? Because the question isn't when. I mean, yeah, there's a when too. But hey, I need some more details on this. How about that? Because you can't drop a bomb like that and not give me the rest of the details, right? Dorica says, I mean, that really says something about someone's character, though, especially a woman. Are we going to differentiate between women and men on this one?
No. We're not gonna try to shame somebody for having sex, two different people in the same day. It happens. It's no big deal.
Oh, it does it?
It does. It happens.
Baby doll says, I don't blame Cinco for being upset. He simply asked, was it while we started dating? It's yes or no. It's a simple question. It is a simple question. It's a simple answer. Yes, no. But is it that maybe she thought, if I answer yes or no, there's going to be a follow-up question, and I don't want one?
She brought the whole thing up. So that tells me she wants to talk about it.
JMF says Cinco has gotten territorial. Do you agree?
Well, they're together, so I think that happens in relationships. We feel a little territorial. I just think the way the dialogue happened, I understand his point. Mm-hmm. I'm asking you something simple, yes or no, but don't say you need to answer me when I'm asking you a question like that. That part I didn't like. A little aggressive.
Yeah, it was a bit and territorial as mentioned, but I do see that Jay is stuck in her ways and a little bit stubborn when she says, I don't have to answer that, right? Then guests come. So this is why we understand why it's the guests are coming in waves rather than everybody at one time. And I kind of like this too, right? Okay, so Amanda comes, who is Jay's sister, and this is how we find out that Jay's name is Jessica, because he goes, yeah, I'm here to see Jessica. I'm like, who the hell is Jessica?
Same thing I said. I was like, oh, I bet that's Jay.
It's like, Jessica? There's no Jessica on this damn show.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was funny how Jay said, my sister Amanda, she's been in so many relationships, so she has good advice. I was like, really?
But to be fair, number one, she did have good advice, right? It's interesting because Jay says that she and Cinco, she's talking to Amanda, she says she and Cinco know the most about each other, they're the most comfortable around each other. And Amanda's, she's taking it all in. And it feels like okay, I like what I'm seeing so far, right? Mm-hmm. Then Cinco's homie Torin, he came to visit, and I thought he offered some sage advice when he was told about the situation. Starts off with the KYP, know your personnel. True?
I get the message, but
Okay, he appreciated Jay's honesty. He says, because a lot of them would lie in this kind of situation.
she did lie because she wouldn't answer the question. So to me, that falls in the lie category.
They would have, well, a lot of people would have lied from the beginning.
Fifth, she can't plead the fifth. I'm not lying, plead the fifth. I refuse to answer that question on the grounds that it might.
By the way, YouTube channel member Matt says that was a fake argument to have some drama when the family came.
Could be because that couple has had zero drama.
Tasha
And,
Talk
you gotta
says
have at least one.
Tasha Talk says maybe she didn't want to talk about it in front of everyone, which is kind of what she says, right? And Under the Olive Branches said the same thing. We were thinking at first, was like, hey, she's definitely not Jessica. She gives Jay. And is it just because that's what we knew her as first? Because usually they'll give the person's full name and then give their nickname.
Yeah.
And they didn't even do that. So it was just a surprise because 6 episodes then we find out her name's Jessica, right?
Yeah. Let me ask this though. Maybe she didn't want to talk about it in front of everyone. Then don't bring that up as your never have I ever.
Touche. Touche. I mean,
never have I ever done this. Tell me more. I don't want to talk about it.
Never have I ever lit a match and threw gasoline on and then walked away with a fire extinguisher. Because this is what she kind of did. Here's the thing, though. Torin kind of gave Cinco that advice. Like, hey, maybe you just address it later when it's just the two of you.
Yeah.
Right? So that's some advice he gives. And then he says, look, arguments are healthy. And if you didn't have disagreements, that would be kind of scary. True?
I don't know if I would say arguments are healthy because exercising is healthy. You should do it often. Mm-hmm. Eating fruits and vegetables is healthy. You should do it often. Arguments
in moderation.
It's arguments are something I'd be like, hey, this is healthy for us to do this. I do agree with him that it's how you argue. Do you fight fair? Can you communicate and still respect each other and come to a place of understanding? And it does bring you closer. You get through that and brings you a bit closer. I totally agree with that, but I wouldn't call it healthy.
It's funny you said about the closer part because that's what wasn't it Kiki and Tati talking about earlier in the show, and they said the same thing. Like I think it was Tati who says arguments bring you closer.
Yeah, because it seems like every time people have a blow up, what happens?
Yeah.
Right. So look at Brittany and Ty. She's getting breakfast in the morning. They're all lovey-dovey.
Foot massage at night, breakfast in the morning.
Stuff like that. Clay and Tati got theirs out the way early because of the whole vegan thing. And so now they're all lovey-dovey or whatever. Jared and Charlie, after the secrets came out, they're all lovey-dovey. So
here is, by the way, Materialistic says it's the conflict resolution that's healthy. Yes, and the makeup sex.
That's healthy.
That's the exercise you speak about. Exactly.
That burns calories. That's a twofer.
Especially if you're not completely over it. So they all get together. Jay, Cinco, Amanda, and Torin and sit down. And I like how Cinco goes, yeah, we cool, but she don't like to answer questions. Throw it out there immediately. That's right. The way you do it. You come out, you just go, yeah. Let's get this ball rolling before she does it.
Well, yeah. And then what happened? Amanda and Torin were kind of taking Cinco's side.
That's the part. And you can see Jay like, wait a minute. You're my sister. All that great advice I said you give was supposed to be on my side.
Yeah.
Because Amanda told her, hey, you're in a relationship. You have to answer these questions. Pick your battles. Everything doesn't have to be difficult. And why I like that, especially to pick your battles, I tell people this all the time, especially in the workplace. Don't fight every battle because you're not going to win each one.
Right.
If you fight every battle, you're going to lose the war. Promise you.
Yep.
So I like that advice. She did say that she likes Cinco and she thinks he's a really nice guy. But
I hope so. You slept with him in the shower.
No, this is what Amanda said.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought.
Hey, you've said some people you didn't think were nice either. But
Well, we're not talking about me. We're talking about Jay and Cinco, right?
So Amanda though is like, hey, this is kind of early though. So, but enjoy it, right?
I think it was great what Amanda was saying because she's saying you can't judge it off. Y'all been here for about 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
This is your first blow up. Mm-hmm. Don't walk away just over this little thing. It's small.
Yeah.
At least play it out. Be here the whole 3 weeks and see what happens. Makes sense.
And the thing is, there never was any thought watching this that, oh, this can destroy them, this can hurt them, this can cause problems. It's just that's the discussion. She just because you saw the way when he asked the question, she's looking down the table. It's like, hey, we got company. And even though, because here's the thing, Cinco's like, no, but I was ducked down when he's telling Torin, he's like, man, but I was ducked down so nobody could hear me. He didn't see Chris like,
You know,
yeah.
you know, old slowpoke paying attention.
Now, had he spelled it, he might have been fine.
2 people in 26 hours. I mean, 24 hours.
P-E-O-P-E-L. Okay, so
People.
I do like that Jay said that she learned a lot about herself in this whole thing, though, right? She thought she was a good communicator until
Right.
she met Cinco, who is different from the people she's usually dealt with.
Yeah. Which I think is great for her to realize that because I think some people think they are good communicators.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the biggest challenge in a lot of relationships? It's just communication. And you got some people that can communicate clearly. Hey, I didn't like when you did that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got some people like Jay. I guess she's just used to people not saying anything and just everybody act mad. And then it's like, you want some meat? And you just kind of blow it over.
Mm-hmm.
But Cinco is someone that just shoots you straight. And I like that about him.
Yeah, and the thing that just irked me in this is the fact that it's not even that. The fact is when you say, I don't have to answer your questions,
Yeah.
then why are we talking?
Right.
Conversation includes questions and answers, right?
It should.
It's not all that makes it up, but includes it.
Yeah, it should. But
Ask
I
the
think there's a
question.
better way. Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a better way she can handle that. If you don't want to answer a question, there's a better way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The way she did it, if I was Cinco, my little antennas would have went up. I'm like, wait a minute.
By the way, Dr. BW says, yeah, but her sister, Amanda, said Jay is bad at communication, so she lacks awareness. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's what she realized in saying that. She's like, I thought I was good at it. I mean, her sister knew she wasn't. But sometimes we do need somebody to tell us the things that we think. Great point. Under the olive branches says she's very competitive. She's a baller.
What's that got to do with communication?
She wanted to win that. Hey,
Yes.
I'm not gonna answer the question. And once you take your point, that's it.
Okay, I thought being competitive is like who's going to be the better communicator. But she just chose not to even play. Like, I don't think that's.
If I take my ball
Yeah.
and I'm already up in the game, I'll win.
Yeah, she did the equivalent of just unplugging the Nintendo when you're losing, or the
At least come to PlayStation, man. Jeez.
PlayStation. Unplugging the PlayStation when you're losing. That's the equivalent of that.
Dijon says, I'm glad her sister kept it 100 with her. Yes,
Yeah.
I am too. And I like the way that kind of played out because the last thing you need is yes people, right, around you. You need somebody who's
Right.
going to tell it to you real. That's why when I ask Terrell questions, I know he's going to give it to me real. By the way, under the olive branch says, don't play with me, Terrell. Next up is the lovely couple, all lovey-dovey, all up on each other all the time. You know, Clay was having a rough time. Tati sitting in his lap, kind of consoling him. No, he was having a panic attack all damn day because he knew he could feel the walls closing in, right?
Oh yeah, he knew it's about to hit the fan, and he had a little panic attack and took that out on Brittany.
Well, this is where Tati encouraged him to apologize to Brittany, which we knew he kind of needed to, right? Did you think he was going to, or did you? Was it the incentive of the boom boom room?
Both. It's both.
He tells us, not Tati, that his plan is to tell Tati about his daughter when his best friend comes to visit, and definitely not before he GTD. He may not have said that last part, but we said this early on. We said this episodes ago. He'll tell her after
he sleeps with her.
Yeah.
I think that's his plan too.
So they go and then the next morning we see them waking up in the boom boom room, going to have breakfast together. It's all good. But something else we did see was Charlie having a morning stroll with Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy her story as she revealed how she knew about Clay's secret and what the secret was?
No, because she said that he was telling Jared, just screaming it loudly like no one could hear. I said, no, that's not what happened.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking to Jared, and then you walked up. And then when he walked away, you're like, what were y'all talking about?
Right.
You being nosy. And then Jared told her.
Yeah.
So
now, here's the thing that's the irritating part, because we were in that moment, remember, Tati was walking up.
yeah.
And when Clay tried to lie first, she's like, no, you said I don't know how to tell her this. So he was kind of talking louder than probably he should have when you're telling a secret like that.
Well, true, but as she like walked up, it was I hear you. Very valid point, but it wasn't that loud that he was just screaming to everybody that he has a kid.
No, it wasn't. By the way, Kevin says Jared is a snake too. LC Charm said Jared to be told. Because it's pretty obvious that Jared told her, right? Tehu says Clay's a ban, a B-A-N. And Baby Doll says Clay and Ish talking about I love you, Tatiana. They've been dropping the L word a lot.
Right.
And if there's one thing I hate is people who try to drop the L word just to get the draws. What are you doing?
Well, they dated 8 months before they
Virtually.
met. So is it possible, virtually dated, is it possible that you can be in love or have love for someone that you've been talking to very much, you just haven't met in person, and then once you get in person and the chemistry is great, then the love proclamations can come out. I don't see anything wrong with that.
Do you believe him?
I believe it's possible.
No, that's not the question.
I don't believe anything Clay says because he lies. So we know that. But I'm just saying it's possible that he really loves her and she loves him. I'm saying that's possible.
Yeah, anything's possible. It could snow tomorrow. It's 95 degrees today. Dijon says, why did Clay even tell anybody? He don't know them people. Agreed?
I don't know. It's reality TV. I mean, you know, why did Jay say, yeah, never have I ever slept with two people in the same 24 hours? You know, I don't know why they do this, but if that's his secret, it almost seems like everybody had a secret of some kind.
Right.
And so if that's what the producers got out of him, they got to make it play out on the show.
Cinco's the only one that didn't seem to have a secret on the guy's side, right?
Yet.
By the way, true. Kevin says Clay's a worse liar than David. Yep.
Oh, wow.
We kind of said that earlier, too. Absolutely right. And Pink Butterfly, YouTube channel member Pink Butterfly says, but how long are they going to drag this storyline out?
True.
It feels like they've tried to get Clay to do it with some of those group games.
Yeah.
Because twice they've brought up something about cheating, secrets, something, right? Trying to get it out. By the way, and I know you saw this in the previews, Illogic says Clay's best friend is his baby mama, and he's bold AF bringing her to the show to tell Tatiana about their baby.
Is that his best friend? That he's, oh, Lord.
But think, the best friend came and, hey, and jumped into his arms, legs wrapped around his waist.
Right.
Or at least around his thighs. I don't think she got him up that high. Here's my question, though, because it's going to come out, and it feels like we see the sparks already flying between Tatiana and the quote unquote best friend, right?
Right.
So there's gonna be some fireworks next week. Maybe we find out about she finds out about the baby next week, right? I'm sure.
That's
If
that's what I'm thinking.
Or do they get it all the way to the end of the episode and hold that? We'll be back next week, right?
Yeah.
They might
Yeah.
do us like that to get us to episode 8. But here's my question. When it finally does happen, is Tatiana going to be more upset with Clay or with everyone else in the house who knew and didn't tell her?
I can't say it's more or less. I think it's going to be different. Okay, then I will say it. More upset with Clay. Because the whole "I love you, Tati" and all that, and saying all the right things just to sleep with her, and then to drop this on her and bring the baby mama to the place.
If that's what
messy.
it is.
But she's gonna have another, like, a not too far off level of anger towards everybody that knew about it and didn't tell her. I think she will feel some type of way about that. Yep, I said it.
Yeah, it's. I think she just goes. This would have been an amazing show to have, a season to have a reunion on, because there'll be strays for everybody. Jay Bailey says she'll be more upset with Clay. Tati will be more upset with Clay because he gave them a reason to cover it up. You think?
How did he give them a reason to cover it up?
By lying?
Oh, he was lying, but he didn't make them cover it up.
No, he didn't.
He had nothing to do with that.
Monica says she's going to say, "I knew you were a liar." Materialistic says, "Rage."
Yeah.
Under the olive branches says, even though it's wrong that no one told her, she still needs to direct her anger in the right place. That is with Clay.
True, but it's just not going to play out that way.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It never does. It never does it? Couple things to get through here from earlier, right? Elsie Charm had said this earlier. Let me get these two off of here. Says, my BFF calls me Monday through Friday around 3 when she's driving home from work. So see, I'm not the only one that does this, Terrell. It's okay.
Well, it's funny. When I saw that, at first I thought it said my BFs, and my boyfriend calls me Monday through Friday around 3. When they get off work, I was like, oh, they married. But then I had to read it again. I was like, oh, BFF, yes.
That is nuts. By the way, this one also came from Under Other Branches. Says, but did you hear what Taronda said during the game when Alexis made that noise? She said, are we minding other people's business? Mm-hmm. I think production told everyone to stand down and let Clay tell it.
Yeah, but Alexis didn't know. But Alexis didn't even know about the baby.
Right. No, she didn't know about that part.
Yeah.
And yeah. But as a whole, probably she is the one. They were just saying, hey, let him be the one to tell it. Because it's going to be better. Tasha Talk says, wait, the best friend is the baby's mother? I missed that. We don't know.
We don't know.
The best friend's definitely more than just friends. Because I haven't had a female best friend jump into my arms like that.
No, I haven't. Or I had female close friends that it escalated.
I had good friends.
After that, it escalated. I've never had somebody that's just a friend that just jumps up and wraps her legs around my waist, and we're just friends, and that's all we're gonna be. That's
yeah. But yeah, not like that. No. By the way, Kevin has a confession to make, Terrell. He says, I look at Charlie in a different, more positive light after seeing some pics of her.
I mean, that's more power to you. It's great. There are a lot of really attractive people in the world who do dumb shit. And there's a lot of people that have that. And so I've seen her IG. Yeah, I mean, she's gorgeous. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But she still got 4 kids. 3 or 4 different people. Would you be interested, Kevin?
Kevin said, hold up now. All I said was I look at it in a different light.
Yeah, well, turn the light up.
He said, I look at her with likes now. Like. Hey, he also says, I'm with you, Terrell. I don't worry.
Hey, there you go. I was about to say, I didn't know if you were like slide in the DMs. I'm like, Kevin, don't even want to do that.
Need a 6-bedroom house.
Yeah.
7 if you had any more. Oh my goodness. Look, do us a favor, man. It's funny. We got through this one. I didn't even say it before. Do us a favor. Appreciate everybody who's watching this, whether you're watching this part of the live crew or part of the replay gang. Please hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, somebody's son.
Yep.
So if you haven't watched that yet, you've got 24 hours. My bad, 23 hours.
Okay, Chris.
So definitely watch that. Interesting because we finally get back to some of the other, like the first couple, the first Bachelor, Josh, because he'd been gone. Saw somebody comment last week and was like, "Hey, I'm tired of seeing Chad. Where's the first guy? Where's Omar back?" So they're back in this one. So we'll do that tomorrow, 8/7 Central, and then we got to work on when we're going to do the members only live. Are we doing that Thursday?
No, I have a work dinner Thursday.
Okay. Tell you what, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. And actually, if you want to be part of that members only live, got to be a member, right? So do us a favor. If you'd like to support the channel, hit that join button. It's less than $3 a month, and you'll get like the random thoughts first. You'll get the members only lives, and of course you get all these cool emojis and everything else too. Oh my God, y'all are funny. CJ, Chris said, "Hit that like button."
Hit that like button.
On that note, and thank you, Pink Butterfly. It's funny because my SVP was talking about that. Said that Forever was a good one too. So I may actually check that out. I keep hearing that. Hey, appreciate it, you guys. And thank you again. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. I'm Yanni Rude,
and I'm just Terrell.
Make sure you follow us at Yanni Rude, at Just Terrell, and at the RGRT Pod.
Yeah, send us some of your random thoughts or some of the bullshit from the internet. We may talk about it on the show.
It's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts Podcast. Cheers.
Cheers.